Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Backstage with Bart. So excited to be with you guys today because my episode today is something that I am super pumped about. It's entitled NYC, New York City. I'm coming for you. Now, I've had a number of people ask me since our last episode, why is it called Backstage with Bart? Well, I'm Bart, and the only way you can get to center stage is by going through backstage. And it's what we learn backstage that really propels us to the next level. Now, yesterday, I had an amazing conversation, amazing opportunity presented to me. I was on a conversational Zoom with the one and only Alex Wong. Those of you in New York, you know who Alex is. You may have heard of his name if you're somewhat familiar with the entertainment industry. Let me tell you something about this guy. He's absolutely amazing, absolutely brilliant at what he does. He was part of So You Think You Can Dance. In fact, he was one of the all-stars on So You Think You Can Dance. But I met Alex when he was part of Newsies. He opened with the musical Newsies. And yesterday he talked about that whole process. And today you can catch him on Better Nate Than Ever, a new film out on Disney Plus. Absolutely amazing film. If you've got young people in your household, bring them together, watch that movie. Absolutely amazing. And you'll see Alex in that featured film. Well, yesterday he was posed a question, and his response stopped me cold in my tracks. He was asked, how do you deal with rejection? You see, when you're in the industry he's in, the performance industry, you're going to audition after audition after audition. And there may be as many as 200 people auditioning for the same two, three, four, five spots. So, how do you deal with rejection? Because odds are you're not going to get me one of the top two, three, four, five if there's that many auditioning. And Alex's response was this. He says, I don't see it as rejection. I thought, wow. He says, yeah, I don't see it as rejection. He says it's just part of the process. And it really made me take a step back because one of the companies, one of the projects that I partner with, we have an education component to it. And one of the main parts of that education component is teaching that mindset is 90% of everything. The way you go into something is pretty much how you're going to determine your success in it. What we like to say here is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And really think about that. But mindset is 90% of whatever you do. And what I thought about was, Alex is exactly right. You got to trust the process. Now this company that I'm part of, that I'm partnered with, we actually have an education component that teaches financial literacy. And through that financial literacy component, that's how we teach that. Yes, sometimes you may lose. If you're trading, if you're in stock market, if you're trading in the forex market, if you're buying gold, if you're doing any of those things, sometimes you may lose. Uh, but we teach you that mindset is 90% of your success, and that you're going to win many, many more times than you lose because you only lose if you walk away. Do you think Alex Wong would ever become the Alex Wong he is today if the first time he did not make it at an audition, he said, this is not for me? And you think, yeah, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever baby try to walk and fall down? And they say after falling down, this is not for me, and never walked again? No. They got back up and kept walking. And that's some of the things that we teach here. So why am I saying NYC? I'm coming for you because 2 weeks from today, about this time, in fact, 2 weeks from today, I'll be landing in New York City. And I'm there for a very special event we're having on that Saturday. But if you're interested in what I do or more about how I'm creating what I'm creating, reach back to me because we've got a lot of things coming up. I've got a lot of new announcements coming up of things that are taking place that you can be part part of. The niche market that I work with, I call hashtag artists as entrepreneurs. Because here's what we know. Yeah, Alex has been very successful, but he tells an amazing story of how the right before being part of the All-Stars, he suffered another major injury. And so when that happens, that is a setback. But all a setback is a setup for a comeback. That's all it is. And so what I do, what I work with is to show people how they can have the ability to follow their passion without compromising their artistic, their daily, their personal pursuits. So if you're interested in that, reach back to me. I have a very few appointments available. I'm doing some interviews and just sitting down and having a cup of coffee, a drink, whatever, with people on that Thursday and Friday, April 28th and 29th, and then again on Sunday, May 1st. And we can just sit and talk. And we can see whether or not we have alignment, whether what I do, how I approach things is something that does relate to you. If it does, let's have that conversation. If you want to get a head start, get with me now. Because here's what happens. One of the events on that Saturday, April 30th, if you come on board with me and we start working together, you can tell other people what it is that you do. And if they're interested, they can come to that event as your guest. I'm going to add one more caveat to it. We're having a really special VIP event that Saturday night. I got a spot for you if you're serious, but only if we do have alignment and if we can work together. Because here's what I know. Alex Wong is an amazing dancer. He's an amazing artist, vocalist, actor, amazing. I've been in shows myself. I would not try out for a show that required heavy dancing skills. If you don't believe me, maybe Saturday night I'll show you. That's not my forte. But what I do know is that my forte is really working with people and empowering people to say, yes, I want to do this. I want to keep going. If you want a little insight of what's happening, let me show you this. We're having a little insight call. This is my New York team. People I work with. I love every one of these people on this team here. And every Wednesday night, we just have a conversation about what we do because we're looking for very few specific people that say, I can see the vision. I can see how this fits in. I can see how I can make this work for me, my family, my future, my talents, whatever I have out there. I mentioned too that got a couple other announcements. Starting next week, maybe the very latest, I'm expanding this web series broadcast that we do. Mentioned one last week to you. It's going to be called Snack and Chat. It's with one of my mentors, one of my best friends, one of my coaches. We call him Big D, Desmond Donaldson. And guys, he's got an amazing backstory. The things he can tell you about Harlem and the Apollo Theater and where he grew up and the stories he can tell. It's like a barbershop conversation. Let me put it that way to you. This guy has really seen some amazing, amazing things happen. That's one of them. And then another one just now in the works. And I'm super excited about this. Can't go into big detail about it, except to say we're crossing the pond. Hint, hint. We're crossing the pond. Not only are we bringing inspiration, but we're also bridging generations here. We're crossing the pond. So keep your eye open. Go back to my YouTube website or mark it here on the Facebook page on my YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification so you'll always know when I'm going live. Because here's what's going to happen 2 weeks from today. I'm going to be going live throughout my whole stay in New York. If I'm having a conversation with you and coffee with you, we may just pop it up right there and have a guest talk right there. So I'm going to leave you with my final thought today. And my final thought is, I can teach you how to cook, but I can't teach you how to be hungry. Are you hungry? Are you someone like an Alex Wong who says that's not rejection? That's just part of the process. If that person is you, let's have a conversation. Until next time, I'm Bart, and I'll see you backstage.